want some, get some, bad enough, take some.
Hello and welcome to episode 101, 101, 101 of Fang and the Bang with Gangrel, the missing Nikki Blackheart, who's MIA in Phoenix or somewhere on the road, and Shady Ray over in the corner in the back. How many days you been up, Raymond?
3 or 4.
3 or 4. And you don't do crack cocaine? And nothing. You just can't sleep, huh? That's crazy. I don't know. I suppose...
Get used to it.
What's that?
Just get used to it.
I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I mean, I stay up 2 days and I'm destroyed. If I travel 24 hours, I guess when I was younger, how old are you now?
29.
29, yeah, no, I didn't start feeling that until I was 50, so yeah, you're good, yeah, you're good, like, I can stay up for days, but once I hit 50, that all kind of came to an end, but, man, I'm trying to think when the last time I was in the studio. It feels like it's been 2 weeks since I've been in the studio here. I've been all over the place. Well, what have I done since I've seen you? Well, the AEW thing, the AEW thing with Edge, that was cool, the whole Brood thing. Boy, I'm struggling today all by myself. I could use somebody to talk to me. You gonna talk to me? She gonna talk to me?
I'm gonna talk to you, of course.
Or gonna have to go get Rex over there to talk to me?
Physically in person, like obviously we'll get into the AEW thing, but physically in person, how long had it been since you've seen Edge in person?
I don't know. You asking me how long? When you said physically in person, I was like, how do I feel physically? I feel like crap physically. My knee is getting bad. My back is bad. I've actually just came back from up in New Jersey at Integrated Pain Management to get some exome treatment and stuff in my back. So I had to come off. I don't know if you saw how I looked when I was walking in here. I was hobbling in all directions just because I came off. I take a daily anti-inflammatory called I call it Mobic, but it's also meloxicam. And so I've had to come off that for the exomes to be able to work. You can't take any anti-inflammatories. You can't take ibuprofen, and meloxicam is an anti-inflammatory. So like everything, when you're on something for so long, you feel it when you come off. So like every joint and my knees screaming, but it's going to be for a greater purpose. So hopefully another 3-4 days I'll be moving and grooving like a new man. You know, remember I went there before where I couldn't walk, and 4 days later I was sleeping back in my bed and running the roads like a rock star. So I'm hoping for that same result. It's always good when I go up there. You would like New Jersey, Raymond. There's so much good food up there. Like,
really?
so much good food up there.
It's strange because I always tell myself like New York or New Jersey, that'd be like one of the last places I go, unless it's like business related and I had to go.
You know, of course I love the New York Yankees. I'm a Florida boy. Let's get this, born and raised. But before I would lean like, I love going to New York to visit Times Square, taking sporting events like Yankee games and stuff like that. But New Jersey is really growing on me, and all the New Jersey people, like over in East Rutherford. I'm tending to lean liking New Jersey better than New York now, and the food and everything. So New Jersey gets a bad rep. New Jersey's a great state, great people, and you gotta check New Jersey out. If you do anything, just go on a food tour or like some diners. I'll get you the diners I go to, and I'll tell you the food to eat in them, and I'll get it from all the. I went into the one diner. It was Joey Meatballs. He has the best balls in town. I tell you. That's what, hey, Johnny Meatballs. Johnny Meatballs says he has the best balls in town. If you ever, I think it's Pizza Amore is this place. Man, the meatballs are just crazy good in there. And you go in there and he has the pictures of all the Sopranos. He also was like on some of the episodes of Sopranos. He was like the cook in the episodes like 20 years ago. This guy's got perfect hair. He's in there. How you doing? You know, you come in and it's like, and as I sat there was so many different like famous people from like entertainment, different thing were just coming in there. It's just this little deli like meatball place, a little meatball place.
So
right
what were the
there.
dishes like? They're just serving you meatballs, or do it?
But you could get like meatball parmesan, you could get whatever. But meatballs is what he's like mostly famous for. Like there's meatballs. I've never had a meatball like that. It's incredible. He says he has the best balls in town. So it's like Johnny Meatballs. But it was good. But I was Pizza Amore, and that place was amazing. And then I ate at the Colonial Diner, and I had the Taylor pork, which is with Taylor ham, which is like this really thin sliced ham, and they kind of fry it like fried bologna, but it's ham. I'm not a big ham eater, but that was delicious. That place, and it's just there's so many good places to go. And then there's the Tolli's. Over is another little place that if you like eating all that kind of food, you just got to go on a food tour there and eat them. Or we could go up there. I don't know though. I've never seen a brother in these neighborhoods though. I don't know. That might worry me if I take you up there, because not that I'm funny or nothing, but I don't know that I've ever seen a black guy in these neighborhoods.
Is it all Italian or something?
It's all Italian, like yeah, it's all Italian and stuff. It seems very Italian. They're definitely Caucasian. They're definitely Caucasian. But I'm starting to think, ever see a black dude? I do it at Pain Integrated Pain Manager. They're always treating athletes and stars like that. But those restaurants, I don't know. They're very heavily Italian restaurants. Not that I don't know if they're welcome or not. They probably are.
Probably by myself, maybe not.
Yeah.
I had an experience in Germany going to a restaurant.
I knew you were gonna bring Germany up again.
Yeah, it wasn't a.
I told you not to go by yourself there.
Yeah.
You gotta take witnesses. You always gotta take a witness.
I'll take you next time.
Oh, they like me in Germany. I'm okay in Germany.
Cool, look at you.
Except for not going to Germany this last time. I probably have some heat, but that'll bring us back to the AEW thing. Like, yeah. So did I tell you about it, or was it a surprise to you when I came out in AEW? It was a surprise to 90% of the world, I'm sure.
Yeah, you like hinted at it.
Yeah. No, it was really cool. It was really good. I haven't seen Edge physically did anything with him, and since WrestleMania in Dallas when did the ENC podcast, and I came out. I was the Bigfoot, the Yeti that when they were going back and forth with their banter with the New Day. I came in and did the ENC podcast, and I was like the Bigfoot Yeti. I was the guy that was the Yeti they were always talking about, and so that was the last time I saw him. However long that was, 5 years, 6 years ago, and then come full circle and then come out of AEW. That was really fun.
Oh, yeah, 2016.
Yeah, I don't know how many years ago. How long ago was that? Yeah, 8 years. 9. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll say that.
I can't act. You've been up too many days, and I can't act. So, yeah, no, it was really cool. They kept it hush-hush, which I was surprised. I got there early. Well, I actually technically got there late. I was supposed to do a walkthrough or rehearsal the night before, but my flight was late coming out of Miami. So I missed that, so I came in early that Sunday morning. Did a quick like onesie walkthrough thing, and then I went and hid in the locker room all day. They had me tucked away in Edge's locker room. So like he had his own locker room, like Moxley and a couple Christian. I don't know who's in there, whoever's in there. But it seemed like I was the only one in there. So spent the long day by myself in there because they were keeping it a surprise from everybody, I guess. So it was really cool.
So did anybody know?
I'm sure like.
Other than the executives.
Well, I had to sign. Yeah, executive. I had to sign releases and. Stuff that I'm not so sure what I can or can't talk about, but I don't think it was anything bad. So I didn't read them, I just signed them. I'm guilty of that. Too much writing. And then too much reading, too much to read. Not writing, but just too much reading. No, it was cool though. No, they kept it pretty hush-hush. Very few people knew. I'd say a handful of people knew. And because when I was coming out to go to the ring and get under the ring, people were like, what are you doing here? They were like genuinely surprised, and then afterwards, it's just good to see everybody, and it was.
Wait. So, you just walked down to the ring, like obviously before the show. You just walked down to the ring, and they didn't hide you in like a little container or crate.
I was dressed in black like a ring crew. Nobody noticed nothing.
Really?
I just went from the back, went right under. Not a soul in the world noticed anything.
How long were you under there?
Not very long. Just that match. So I watched it on the monitor underneath. It was all cool. It was good. It was fun. It was chill. It was hot under there, though. I can tell you that. And loud. And then, Edge coming off the top. That didn't sound good underneath the ring. It didn't look good on the monitor. And unfortunately, I sent him some well wishes. I believe he just got the surgery and he's already back in the gym. I meant to text him today and send him some positive vibes, but I believe he's back to working out already. I think he has a cast on his leg, but he had a fractured tibia or a broken tibia. But it was a great moment, and I was grateful for it, and I was happy to be there with him, and he seemed happy to have me there. So it was a good time, man. It was it's emotional, and I was more afraid of like how can I get up out of this hole from the ring. I don't know if did you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, so when I ripped through the ring to come up, there was like a barbed wire bat there, so I was supposed to like spray Big Brody. I was gonna spray him, but I couldn't because the bat was there and everything. So when he came over to grab the bat, like thank goodness he moved it, because when I couldn't grab it, I kept trying to grab it. I kept cutting my fingers up and bleeding. I was like, ow, what is up there? I couldn't see. I didn't realize it was laying across where I was coming up at, and so I sprayed him through that wire. When he he ended up moving it when he took the spray. And I was able to pop up and spray Buddy, and then come up and hit a couple impalers, and then got my head kicked off by Malachi Black. Vicious black mass he has there. Like put me down, but Edge was able to hit him with a spear with barbed wire around his arm and hook that modified crossface there with the barbed wire on it. Malachi Black passed out. Then we got up. Despite him having a broken friggin' leg, he got up and celebrated, had that moment. And it was a great moment. And thank you, Adam and AEW, for having me there. And it was a good time. So, I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to say about it besides it was fanging and banging.
It's still, what is that word? Like, do you still have that? Are you still coming down from that high?
No. My body is not allowed me to stay high at all. My body, and not from that. I hid from them how beat up feeling I was going in there. So, but I knew I had appointments up with Integrated Pain Management, Dr. C up there, and AJ and the crew to take care of me, to try to get me right. So I knew I had that this week. So I was looking forward to that more than anything, just to try to get the body right. But now I don't say this much, Raymond, but I might have said it on here before. But I'm seriously thinking about hanging it up. I'm thinking about just hanging up the in-ring stuff. Tired of, battling the body hurting. That's okay. That's one thing. But I got my walk is affected the rest of my body so bad with the knee, because I have no ACL and no PCL. So it's bone on bone. So if I'm walking north, my knee is trying to walk east towards the beach. Like I'm trying to go north, but my knee's going east. So you imagine how that feels. Every step, one step north, one step east, one step north, one step east. It's taking me forever to get through airports and everywhere. And I'm starting to look like those old timers. I said, why are these old guys still wrestling with their knees like that and everything? So I'm starting to feel like that. I'm definitely looking like that. I mean, in the ring, I feel good, though. I do, but it's just getting to the arenas, getting through the airports, landing, and just getting from the plane to, the knee is just affecting my walk, which is affecting my hip. Now my hip's popping in and out. And I think it's all catching up, I'm 55. I'm not old at all.
And you're able to get the surgery, like you're able to get a surgery on it.
Yeah, 3 years ago, whatever.
Yeah, when we started,
they told me I needed a total knee replacement, but they said I only get one, where everybody else gets two. So they were just saying I had to retire, because if I only get the one, and I mess it up, or I fracture it, or whatever I do, their work, I'll be crippled for life. They won't be able to fix it, because I only have enough room in my knee for one, because I did so much damage to the bone that the knee sits on. Mm-hmm. So it's just basically like, if you look at the bone and he sits on it like this part is just crumbled, because it's just crumbling from hitting it all those years, and not having the ACL and the PCL, and I've just done it. And so I can only imagine what I've done the last 2-3 years on it since I went there, and they told me I needed it. So it might be about that time. I'm doing a lot of thinking, a lot of pondering on it, and I don't know. I think what holds me up, I mean, I love wrestling. I'll always be around it. I'll be able to teach wrestling, and I'll have that outlet and that passion that could fulfill those needs there for myself, and hopefully help other people. But I'll miss wrestling in the ring actively. Who's saying I can't if the knee's good? I don't know, but I think definitely thinking about a change. Definitely, I don't know. I just, again, it's not in the ring that I hurt. Like, adrenaline and everything blocks it out. It's just the getting to the airport, through the airports, on the planes, to the shows, haggling with people, telling them I can't sit in these certain seats anymore, and then they still buy you the seat you tell them you can't sit in, and it becomes just a nightmare. I'm just tired of arguing with that. Just a lot of little things, but I still love wrestling. I said it on here, I think the last podcast, I don't get paid to wrestle. I get paid to be away from home and have to travel and then do all this and this, that, and miss birthdays and family things and stuff like that. The wrestling I would do anywhere for free, because I love wrestling. But it's that travel that's what's catching up to me with my body. It's the travel, not the wrestling. It's the travel. It's definitely the travel. So I don't know. Don't worry if I'm booked already for you. I'm gonna show up this year. but I don't know that I'm gonna start taking any bookings next year. I might put a halt on that until I figure out exactly what I'm going to do. Because I'm booked all the way through January, up to January next year already. I got a lot of dates, and so the January ones are penciled in, and then I might get to reel back on them. Well, I'm gonna have to make a decision in the next month or so because I have to start the process. So I don't know. So yeah, that people, I put a post up and I took it down because I think people thought I was depressed or something. It sounded worrisome because I said, "Oh, it might be time for a change." But that's what I was talking about. Maybe retiring from the ring. For now, they're saying I need to. If I do the knee, I have to retire. I don't know if that's the case. I don't want to end up crippled if I only get one knee replacement. Everybody else in the world gets two. I get one, and I destroy it, and then I have to hop the rest of my life. It's about a quality life in the older years. So if we have the technology and the medicines or whatever, just the technology to have a better life, why should I put it off? Maybe I should slowly make that change and then go back to doing some acting and do more signings and maybe invest in myself more. I'll maybe go do them myself instead of working for other people at different conventions. Maybe I'll just invest in myself. I have another action figure coming out. I've told you about that, right? Hastel.
It's not the one behind you. It's the one I think you sent a picture.
No. I sent you a picture of it. Like it should be out in 8 months soon, but it should be going in production. I have a guy designing a Funko Pop, but that may go nowhere. That seems like that might be a nowhere street, but there's a fellow designing that, but I don't think that'll get picked up. But definitely got an action figure coming out, so that's more stuff to take on the road and to these conventions and get signed. And it just might be that time, just to turn another leaf in wrestling, professional wrestling, and go the other route. I don't know. It's kind of scary, depressing. I've been blessed. I've done this full time for 37 years since I was 17. I think that's just the scariest part of it. We've had a whole talk about giving it up, right? Chasing that high, and like you asked me if I'm still riding that high, but it was a hell of a high. Don't get me wrong; it was a hell of a moment. I think I rode it for a few days, but then the reality of my body and these decisions started kicking in, which also made doing that harder. Going, that taste of that live crowd, and to hear a pop like that, and that people reacted or still remember you, it makes it even a little bit harder to walk away. But maybe it's time, maybe it's time after that. Because that might be best it's going to get from now. Even though every show I do every weekend, it'll be, 300 to 1,000 people. I enjoy it just as much. I do. I truly do. But it's just getting to these buildings now and stuff. I'm starting to... When I walk through the airport, the people roll up asking me if I need a ride on the handicap carts. I'm like, get out of here. Like, leave me alone. So I know that it's not looking good, But I said this last time, and then I saw integrated pain management, and then I quit talking about it a week later because I was good as gold. That's probably what's going to happen here in a couple of days. I'm going to be, feeling like a fine wine again and be like, what was I talking about? What was I thinking? I shouldn't have said that out loud. But there just comes a time that you do gotta accept reality and quit.
That's the cool thing about wrestling, though, right? Like a lot of wrestlers, they don't technically wrestle full time, because you technically still wrestle full time. You wrestle like twice a week, or sometimes you do 3 shows a week.
Yeah, sometimes 3 shows a week, and then I'm in a training 3 to 4 days a week too, training Monday through Thursday or Monday through Wednesday, and then I'm on the road Friday, Saturday, Sundays. But
I think with you balancing and managing your time and then taking exclusive bookings, that makes sense for you. I think you still get that. So
you're saying don't get the surgery, just slow the bookings down?
I would juggle the priorities like in life. Like we kind of off camera talked about a couple of different ventures.
Yeah, I have one fellow that wants to write a book. Well, a bunch of people have, but one has been really persistent and patient every time I've blown him off, and I need to answer him. He's making it painless as possible. Kishi, I love Kishi. Kishi's got a guy. He's out there. He's producing. He's putting out music. Have you even heard any Kishi stuff?
No.
Oh, man, you got one. You know how, the late night early flights? I was just listening to this podcast. Oh, man, I don't even know if I can find it on
I've seen
here.
him dance to music, so I can only imagine.
Let me see. See if I can find it. Y'all got to bear with me. You might not be able to hear it on here.
Is it hip-hop?
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. I got to take these glasses off. I'm not going to be able to find it, man, because I don't know how I find stuff half the time. Takes me forever. Did you find that music or what you
I
doing?
think this might be it.
Oh, he's got some.
But you got to tell me.
Well, there's one called Late Night. It's Kishi. How's that sound? It's good, right? It's good. You got to make a music like I can't flow like Kishi, but like I got it, but like this one. This one's a late night early flight. You know, I always say late night early flight. Mm-hmm. It's good. I'll go out there and check out Rikishi's stuff, man. Love all that stuff. I mean, love he's making music. It's got me wanting to go make music, but I don't think I have the flows like he does. He's got more soul and rhythm than me. I just grew up in the hood, but so did he. He grew up in that San Francisco hood.
What type of style would you make though?
What's that?
What type of style would you make?
Oh, it'd have to be hip hop. Like, what do you think?
Well, that stuff we were listening to before the podcast.
Oh, Dracula, Autobahn. No. Maybe Bono speaks Spanish. Mira, oye. Dale, let's go, Miami. No. But no, I don't know. Definitely, I probably, my hairdo don't want to hear it, but I probably let the hair go like a little back to its natural color, gray. Like probably do a little bit of acting, back to the acting stuff. I don't know how good it is in South Florida, but definitely signings. Maybe write that book I've been putting off. Maybe start filming my own little like things like with you, like little segments. I want to do this one, and I won't say it on here, but I wanted to put it out. I was gonna have Nikki do it, but it's really funny. You won't get it because you've never seen the movie, so. But it's just, I want to do like reenact scenes out of the movies, but put a wrestling twist on them. Different little, like really famous scenes, you know. Yeah. There's nothing illegal about that, right?
No, they did it with a Scary Movie.
Okay. Yeah. Well, basically, yeah. But I don't want to do a whole movie. I just want to do like
I get like
3-minute or 4-minute vignette like type of things. And I got one. The first one I want to do will be out of Fast Times at Ridgemont High, but I'll tell you about it off the air. But if I tell you on here, somebody will do it, right? No, they won't do it. They don't care.
Well, they might steal it.
You think so?
Yeah, you never know who's watching.
But I want to put it together and do it. I was gonna and have her play like a part in it. And I don't know. She's never around though. She's now she's gonna be wrestling. She's got her debut match coming up June 21st at CCW. Then she's got June 22nd, and I see she's on the Bash also again, the July 6th, which I'm on. So this person I'm pointing to is Nikki Blackheart. Nikki Blackheart, who is just now looks like a bunch of merch over here for the 100th episode and the follow thank you away. But yeah, she's a busy person. I don't know where she is. She's working or something or flying. I don't know. I think she might be in Phoenix or back or I don't know. I don't know. I can't keep track of her. Well. She should be here next week, I hope. I think.
102.
For episode 102. Hopefully, if not, we'll just have the ghost of Nikki Black. We'll just have a hologram, maybe. Put a hologram.
We'll get her like a doll mate.
Or Kid Cadet swoop back in here. Yeah. She's busy. She's casting stuff and everything. You see that? Kid Cadet, she's doing good out there. I think she's in her game, man. She's in her hustle. She's flowing out there. She's flowing. So what were we talking about before we got lost? I don't know. Another path, maybe.
Yeah, music.
I don't know about music. I was just joking, but maybe deep down, I would always want to do music, but I can't sing. So it would have to be more of a. It would either have to be like a folk or a rap or folk rap. Folk rap, maybe a folk rap, a little different twist on it, like a little bluesy kind of mix.
You never know.
Yeah. Maybe I have to get your guy in here. What's your guy? What's he called? Sample God?
Yeah, Sample God.
Oh, Sample God. Maybe get the Sample God in here, put him to work. As long as he ain't trying to charge me too much. Sample God. Does he work on credit? You're scared to say because you ain't gonna put it out there,
like just on collab.
Well, I'll do Dracula. Yeah,
just on collab.
But yeah, the AEW thing was cool. Yeah.
So I don't think obviously you're not the only wrestler kind of going through this or went through this. How many surgeries have you been able to put off and still wrestle? Where it's something you just.
So I tore my pec and bicep. Never even went and got that checked. That started my whole, I had never taken a pain pill until '98 when I tore my pec and bicep. I tore it in in Ontario on a pay-per-view working D'Lo Brown, and I tore it at the end of a match. Towards the end of the match, still had to do a whole angle with him and Mark Henry and giving Palers. So popped my shoulder. I went over. D'Lo went the clothesline me over the top rope backwards, and I came over. Maybe I hooked a little too deep, but Mark Henry pulled and held the ropes down for me to go over backwards. So when I went over, he still had the rope, so my arm was stuck in the rope. So maybe if I would have done it different, maybe if he didn't hold it, I don't know. But my shoulder popped out, and I felt it in my chest. And I went to the back, and there was a little fella there named Francois, and he's like, "I got you, baby." And he pops my shoulder back in, and I tell him, I said, "My chest is really hurting." And he goes, "Oh, it's from the shoulder being out." I go, "I don't know. Feels like there's a knot in it, you know." I was like, "It feels weird." And he's like, "You'll be all right, you know." So I drive back across the border. When I get to Detroit, I can't even lift my arm, you know. And then when I look, I'm black down to my wrist and black all the way down to my side. So not only did I dislocate my shoulder, but I tore my pec and my biceps. So I go to the building the next morning or the afternoon, and a doctor was there or whatever. He's like, "Oh, you tore that. You really need to go see a doctor right away, like when you get home." So he wrote me a prescription for Vicodin, and I went to the pharmacy, and then I filled that, and I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna help or not. And I took that. About an hour later, I was like, "I don't need no damn doctor." And I started that long journey on that crap because I was like, So I never went. So that was the first one I blew off while I was in WWE. And then the second one, they were looking at my shoulders, and they said both shoulders needed total reconstruction. But I would have to retire because my shoulders were popping out every night. I would like take a bump, and my shoulders would pop out. I would have to go into a bathroom stall, grab it, sit down, and get my shoulder to pop in. Almost like when you see Mel Gibson when he hit in the Lethal Weapons, when he hits his shoulder to put it back in, he could put it out. Something similar to that. But I guess when I had trained and got in really good shape, this is why it's important to really understand your body. Is I trained a lot of front delts and side delts, but my rear delts, my rear shoulder, was lacking in muscle. So I was all lean and dieted down and buff, but my rear delts weren't built up. So when I was bumping, all this pressure was going to a weak side. It wasn't wasn't holding everything equally. So it was a lack of not understanding training and getting in really good shape, but overlooking a body part. Like there's 3 parts to the head of your shoulder, front, side, and rear. So shoulders popped out from there. Started having shoulder problems, and then they said that I needed both shoulders totally reconstructed. But I just learned to do bands and rehab and work around stuff, and then I built them up to where they hold in. So I got past that. Then I broke my neck, and they wanted to do the surgery there, and they said we need to do surgery right away. I go, "Can I do rehab?" And they go, "Well, no, you're not gonna be able to handle the pain, and you need to fuse that and retire." And the shoulders, they told me I had to retire. That's why I blew it off. And then when they told me I had to have this surgery and I would have to retire, I blew it off. And I told them I'd been wrestling on the road for a week, which I had been with it. I did it at a TV, went home, came back on the road, wrestled for a week, and it just got too much where I couldn't swallow anything. I couldn't almost breathe anymore. I was bleeding out my nose, so because I was just so swollen. And they said, "Well, yeah, you could do rehab if you've did it for a week. You could handle it, obviously." So I did rehabilitation, and I got all my movement. I would have been retired from that. So those are the first few, and then I don't know, the knee. Apparently, over the years, I've lost the ACL and the PCL. When they did the MRI, they couldn't even find them. They said it absorbed it in my body. So.
Yeah, because speaking of Mark
So it's
Henry,
bone on bone, so I'm bow-legged as hell on one leg. I got a Jimmy leg. So I don't know. So, I mean, ignoring all these things eventually is going to cost you in the long run. If you have insurance, you should take care of some things. I mean, the neck, I'm glad I put off because I don't have that big of issues. I just changed my style. I don't do a lot of bridges and suplexes anymore and stuff like that. And that doesn't affect the quality of my life. I mean, it changes what pillows I use, but that doesn't. But the knee and how I'm walking is starting to affect how my back and hip is. Well, it is definitely affecting. So this one, by ignoring this, is causing all these other problems, which is making multiple problems. So I'm going to have a bigger problem. So it might be time to one of the reasons to address that. And get
So, I'm just thinking like
I can't even walk down the beach anymore without taking a break like an old flipper or sitting down. You know, I feel like, geez, the weight staying on. Usually I stay down 20 more pounds than I'm up 20 on my weight, 15 up on my weight of water because I just can't get cardio in it because now my hip hurts. I can't even ride the bike because the knee's hurting so bad. It hurts on the elliptical because the elliptical I used to be able to do, it didn't hurt my knee so much. So like, so without being on pain pills and anything, you know, it's starting to come to a grinding halt. I can't get the cardio in. So without the cardio, that extra cardio in my life, even though I'm moving 7 days a week, I'm a fatty by nature. I hold water a lot. I have to do this cardio, and it's affecting my weight, which is also starting to affect how I walk because I put too much weight on my knee. Because anytime I'm over 250, my knee screams. So I'm like 252 right now, and it's screaming. But I'm also off Meloxin for a few days. Could be why it's hurting so much too.
what percentage of you like? Because I'm just thinking like over all this time of your career, different doctors telling you different things, and you kind of doing what you wanted to do. Like fast forward to now, how much of a doctor's advice do you take? Like you always say the same, believe half of what you hear. What like that saying like so when
none of what you hear and only half of what you see.
Yeah, so when the doctors are telling
that
you
comes
certain
from Malenko, Boris.
telling you certain things, how much of it like when you leave the doctor office are you like you know your body better than them? Because you even told me about Japan, they wanted to cut off one of your ligaments.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And you were like, yeah, no, that's not happening.
No, you're not cutting my arm off.
So
not
it's
in
like,
Japan. Not while you're smoking a cigarette over there. Tell me you're gonna chop my arm off. No.
if I was you, I would not trust doctors like nah, bro.
I don't know. I think doctors tell you what they believe is the. I'm married to a doctor, so I gotta be careful what I say here. Like, I think you diagnose yourself. I think you know they're not in your body. You're telling them what's wrong with you. So basically, you're giving them a diagnosis. You're saying, hey, this is failing. This is here, and they're like, okay. They confirm it, and they give you a remedy or whatever measures to take, or whatever medicines you need, or whatever route you need to go to make this a curable or fixable or manageable situation. But I think everybody's different, and you got to be in tune with your own body too. You know your body. If you listen to it and you pay attention to it, and you're spiritually aware, mentally, physically, if you're all tuned in, once you got to listen to your body. And I all the way back to the first time when I was 13, I broke my neck playing Pop Warner football. That's when they took sports away, and then I knew without sports, and this is what makes me afraid of the future here. I knew when they took football away from me, and any contact sport, like I went off the rails. I was out running the streets. I was a father at 15, 16 years old, and then I found professional wrestling at 17, and I kind of calmed down and not so wild. I was always wild, but not in a path that I was at 15 when they took it away from me. So now compete. So I've wrestled 37 years from that point. To take it away again is scary. I don't know that I'm mature enough or can handle that in my head. I gotta get all these other projects into play and lined up to keep my mind busy and keep me moving and grooving. Because I do believe if you stop, you drop. I don't physically have to be in a wrestling, but I think I need to be productively producing something or being, doing something in life that's creative and not feel like I'm trying to break into wrestling all over for $5 and driving 500 miles, because I can't do that in this stage of my life. I got bills to pay. I got responsibilities. I'm not young and starting all over. Like technically I would be starting all over, but I got to find something that I could slip into that could also be financially help me to carry on through the older years, not to start all over chasing rainbows for $5 a night, and spending $250 to do it. So it's scary. So yeah, I gotta sit down and brainstorm. And I mean, I have all these ideas, and a lot of people out there willing to help me. I just gotta pull the trigger and commit, And I need to commit on it, and then commit on doing this, and then I think once I do this, I'll leave myself no choice. But I need to have all this stuff lined up so I can pull the trigger on this. So I'm gonna start lining things up. So you got anything out there? Reach out to me. you know how to get a hold of me. You can find me on my social medias or through here. You can send messages. I'm sure you read all of them when they come in. So good and bad, but yeah. And thank you. I want to thank you everybody for all the positive feedback for the AEW thing. I also want to send positive vibes and prayers out to Adam Cope, as he's healing and spending time with his family and on his path and journey to getting back into the ring. And and thank him for that moment too in AEW. So boom, where we at now?
No, just a random thing, like, but not random, because you said Adam, and every time I like see a video or something of him, he's on like his porch and he's like, I guess he lives like in the woods or something.
He lives in like the Carolinas. It's more country. Yeah, it looks nice. He says he likes it there. I was like,
yeah, it looks peaceful.
He said it's cooler there, like a little cooler, more cooler than is where we're at.
Just
like
waiting for us to start our Bigfoot show, the journey, the hunt.
The Bigfoot hunt. Which one? Like the movie or the
I don't know, or the movie or the real life. You don't think we'll find it if we? Cause no one ever. I don't think
anybody's gonna find Bigfoot. As much as I want there to be a Bigfoot, I don't think there's a Bigfoot. Like I mean,
we may find something else.
If there is a Bigfoot, I believe it's on a spiritual level or an alien level. Like so, it's like.
My fear is finding something else.
What?
Like my fear is finding something we shouldn't have found.
Well, my fear is a damn lion or some wild animal eating my ass while I'm out there because I'm afraid of the dark. I'm a vampire. I don't get out there. I'll be the guy in the woods. I'll be like, yeah, tough. And as that sun sets in the fire, I'll be staying close to that fire and I'll be hearing, whoo, whoo, whoo. I'll be like, whoo, whoo, what? Like, I'll be tripping out there in the woods.
You travel a lot, so you're used
thinking
to
a big grizzly bear. You know what movie scared me the most? You'd probably never even seen it. It was called Grizzly. I was a kid. I don't know. Do you remember this? You know what a swap shop is?
Yeah.
Well, it was used to only be like a drive-in theater, and
I've seen it.
Way back in the day. And then I think they might have still had the flea market in the daytime, but it was definitely mainly like a drive-in theater, right? So we'd roll out there, family. I remember we had like a station wagon, so two of us would have to hide under blankets in the floorboard because my parents weren't paying all that money to roll you in there. Like, we didn't have all that money, and then they'd roll you all in. Whatever, you get in there, you unfold out of the car, like a man in the box, and get out, and then. I remember going and sitting on the swing sets, and you could hear the movies even on the swing sets. You could hear. I think they had speakers there. You could hear it, but it was this movie called Grizzly, and this bear was just this bear that went around, this big grizzly bear, and knocked the whole horse's head off and shit, man. Man, after that was the beginning of the summer, and then we had to go. They sent me away to my grandmother's in North Carolina, who lives up in the mountains. They didn't even have a toilet. This is my mom's side of the family. They had an outhouse, Raymond. You ever had?
I've seen one.
You would go from living here in South Florida to go up there to having an outhouse.
Spiders in there and stuff?
No, just spiders. I don't know what's in that black hole of wood. You sit down and you go out there, and it was cold up in the mountains. Even in the middle of summer, it'd be cold. And you had to take a duke. You had to go outside, walk out, down that dark path to the shithole over there. Wooden door. You know, this is like 1980s. Early 80s, you're like, what the hell? Like, should be duking in wood, you know, like out there. So you're sitting out there, and that was scary as hell. But that isn't what broke me. It would be going out there at night, man. I wouldn't go because that movie Grizzly. I was scared. In the woods, they were out there in the woods. So I was thinking this big ass bear was gonna come kill me. But what was even worse about up there is you had to bathe in the creek, the water. So that water come off the top of the mountain. So you're down there washing up in this fresh water, like for a bath. That water was like ice cold, man. Like ice cold.
You guys are like,
I was taking ice baths before that shit was cool, man.
It was like a cabin or something?
No, they had a house. It just didn't have a toilet. Didn't have a bathroom or whatever.
What?
Yeah, I have to check with my sister. They spent all the summers up there. I couldn't do that. Yeah. No, people still live like that up there, man. They probably still live today like that up there, some people. Like.
I guess if you don't know anything different, you don't know anything different.
I don't think they care. I think they think we're all messed up down here in the world doing all this crap, ruining
did you see
the
that
nature
thing?
and stuff. Huh?
They're blaming Elon Musk for I think he has his Starlink he gave to like one of those Amazon islands, and it's like a satellite that connects you to Wi-Fi in the wilderness. So they're saying that this village now is addicted to social media and pornography. So before they didn't have access to the outside world. Now it's all over the place. They're blaming Elon Musk and his Starlink thing because he set it up there for them for free, connect them to the rest of the world. Now they're addicted to social media.
So they're blaming them for being addicted to porn?
And social media.
Social media. All bad stuff.
You see the pictures of these like natives, like, and they have phones and shit, like just sitting around the village. It looks weird.
Well, what do they got phones if they're out in the village? They shouldn't even have phones.
They gave it to. I don't know Elon Musk's reasoning for putting it out there. Maybe an experiment.
Just to corrupt the rest of the world. Can't have it on. They can keep the world corrupt.
I want to get one of those things.
I don't know about all that, but
no, Starlink.
But But no. I mean, yeah. But I do feel like some people are much like that village up there. They're modern, but they choose to live that way. Simple, less problems and stuff. Maybe they had a shower in my older years up there. Maybe they had bathroom plumbing, but it seemed that when I was younger, that's what it felt like. I know definitely it was toilet outside at one point.
Was it like that in England when you used to travel? I think you told me you stayed
in castles. They get toilets in England.
You told me you stayed in castles and stuff before, right?
No. Well, maybe no castles. I've been to a lot of castles and stayed in like really old buildings and stuff like that, but I don't think an actual castle. I don't think so. But I've stayed in some haunted ones. But they got toilets. They had toilets all the way back. Even if they had if you watch the old medieval, they were still crapped inside. The toilet was inside. It wasn't outside. You'd have to walk outside.
Oh, so that's an American thing.
Well, no, it's a country thing. I think maybe they thought if Duke you could take it, you might as well be away from the house and the ground so the house don't stink. You know what I mean? I don't think it's not dumb at all if you don't got a toilet and if you to put it out away from where you live. I mean, that makes sense to me. But I think people still probably live like that because it's a simple way. Probably people that still live off the land. Probably people that come down at the end of summer and load what they need for the winter up, and you don't see them till spring again. You know, and they live off whatever in the land or whatever up there. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying. It wasn't for me. I wish I had a little bit of that in me because I probably would disappear off the grid before this whole world goes haywire. And it's already like 900 degrees outside. And I went outside at 10 a.m. this morning. I was like soaked with sweat going, what is going on? It's not even, what month are we in? I guess it's June. It's summer. It's getting there. It's hot.
No, the sun has been extra like.
It's boiling, but the whole world's kind of topsy-turvy. So, yeah, this is what it is. But do we got any questions or anything on here today? Or?
Yeah.
What about Sexy Red in NXT? What do you got to think about that?
That's what we should have talked about. Of course. How do we skip that?
How did she get in NXT? How did that come about? I didn't see that. Like, how does that play? And I'm sure you read up on it. You tell me.
For some reason, I don't know.
How does Sexy Red fit in Battleground NXT? Because it's UFC or
it's
trick?
She's a list just came out like Billboard. You know what Billboard is,
right?
She was listed as number 2, and people were upset. Like just how
hands on the knees, pop.
She's listed number 2 hottest female rapper out right now.
Really, number 2? I like Sexy Red.
Yeah, so
but I wouldn't put her number 2 though. But go on.
But because all her stuff is charting, like she's popping right now. She's popular. She's headlining.
Sex tape. Sex tape makes everybody. That sex tape got out. She leaked her own sex tape. And took a selfie in it or a picture of it too. Like she got it like. Whatever. Go on.
But no, I think her charisma and her natural what draws you to her?
Her charisma, her energy.
Yeah, she just.
I don't give a shit attitude. Like I'm just gonna throw my hoodism out there and be as hood as I can. Be me, whatever I am.
It felt weird seeing it, especially on NXT. Like it
just to know that they were so like PG at one time, and Sexy Red is the furthest thing from PG. So I see when she came out to do her entrance. Every time she bent over, put her hands on her knees, to twerk or pop her ass or whatever, they did a wide shot away. They kept shooting around that. So they knew what they were dealing with, obviously, because they knew how to shoot around. It felt
wholesome, though. Huh? It felt wholesome for some reason.
It felt wholesome?
Yeah.
Sexy Red coming out felt wholesome?
Yeah, it felt realistic. You know how it became so PG at a point where it wasn't even like realistic.
So you think a girl out there shaking her ass to the whole world with sex tapes and everything is wholesome?
Because it's all
you find that to be wholesome?
It felt normal because that's all we see.
You must live in that village that's addicted to porn that's some addicted to porn shit right there. Like that. If that's your version of wholesome, Raymond, I worry that what you think wild is. Your wild must be some Ibiza, like I don't know what you're gonna call wild, like some.
It felt normal.
Your P Diddy parties are probably wholesome to you too, right? Like you find them wholesome too.
No, I never been to a P Diddy party.
But from what you heard about him, do you find that wholesome?
No.
No, so how do you find Sexy Red wholesome?
I meant it felt normal because that's all we see.
Felt normal. That's a different word.
Scrolling online all day. We just see this all day. It becomes normal. So seeing it on WWE, it felt
You're like that village. You're addicted to social media and porn. Like you're scrolling on porn all day.
I think we're normalized to seeing it. This is normal now. But hey, that's not any different than what the Divas did. The Divas just weren't like black ghetto chicks from the hood. We got the Caucasian version of the sexy divas.
I don't know what a diva is really. Like I don't understand.
The WWE's definition of like how they would.
Hoes and tricks, I understand. I don't know about divas.
Godfather.
Yeah, who said that bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks? He can get canceled there.
Thundering. That's
yeah. But no, divas. TV will groom you to think whatever. They want you to believe what your words wholesome or what's really. It's like that village. They probably wanted to take that village, and they said, "Let's see what happens when we give them porn and social media, and see if it'll affect people that have never had that in their life. Will it be addicting?" And they find out it's much like any other drug, and like the drug of being a wrestler and having a match and everything. You don't have something in your life, you get it all of a sudden, and it's addicting. You know. Well,
it's you don't even have to drug people anymore. That's social media.
It's just mind-altering doping in a sense, but that's for a Joe Rogan topic or something. I'm not understanding. It's way above my pay scale. So, but I am disturbed that you think Sexy Red you find wholesome.
Yeah.
That worries me a lot. But I do like Sexy Red, and they're doing Battleground, right? So
in Vegas, there's so much stuff happening in Vegas. What's going on in Vegas?
Like, entertainment capital of the world, they say Vegas. You know, venues are. They got the Raiders are out there. The Oakland A's will be heading there at some point in a few years.
Is this like a resurgence?
It's just, I know during COVID, it kind of got crazy out there. Gangs got a little out of control. There's a lot of crime on the strip, but I think maybe it's driven everything down to be more affordable to get in these venues and run these nice venues. Because Double or Nothing's, they've been going out there, right? This is their 5th year, the Double or Nothing, and now you got Battleground, but I think they're going there because it's UFC, because they're part of UFC, so UFC's based out of like.
But even Adele opted from doing Adele. She's one of the biggest stars in the world. She opted from doing a world tour and she did a residency. Yeah. Usually, someone at the end of their career does that.
Well, usually you do the residencies, but
and her tickets are like $2,000.
But if you're that over and you're that popular that you can, there's a different crowd of people that come in every weekend to Vegas and you can draw and fill a house. Why not work that same house instead of flying? Like, she probably just catches Garth Brooks. You know who Garth Brooks is? Country music singer. A lot of people say it's not country because a lot of his music he took from like classic rock songs and he took it and put a spin and it became country. He made it country. But Garth Brooks has tons and tons of, but he had a residency. But he would literally take a private helicopter in for each show. So he'd come from his home. He'd go home after each show and then fly in. So, I mean, you get a routine down. It's there every night. It's, a little easier on your life. You could go home and have a family life, and instead of being like Germany, Madrid, Australia, then back down to South America tours. Where you're not home for 2 years. Or you do a 320-day tour, and you did in 320 days you did 294 towns. All over the world. That wears on you. That wears on you. So you can get an easier routine down, and. Do a residency, that's probably, and get paid the same. That's good. Yeah.
Should do a residency.
Do a residency, yeah. Well, Nelio CCW, he's trying to get me to do, he wants to sit down with me this week and write a stand-up, an hour stand-up show, like a stand-up routine. Because he believes I could do comedy or mix with stand-up based off wrestling, like I guess some of the wrestlers are trying to do or are doing, like Jake the Snake is doing some kind of version. Cactus Jack has something.
Actually, they have an idea for you. I'll mention it once we wrap this up, but I think you'll like it.
But I definitely got to pull the trigger and say, all right, I'm doing this, and then commit on these other projects and have them in play. So I go get the surgery, get the knee, and then go through the quick rehabilitation of it. And then fall right into groove into these other projects, working on it. So I just got to commit. And, to be realistic about it, I could probably wrestle. Sorry, something in my throat. I could probably wrestle 2-3 more years on this knee and hobble and deal with it all. But then that puts me at 58. And then trying to change over at 58 and do something different is harder. It might be easier at 55. It probably would have been easier at 50 or 45 if I would have done it. And if it didn't work out, I could have switched gears and switched directions. But now it's probably the time to do it.
Question: I already know the answer to this, but like restructuring your exit or transition, do you ever see yourself stopping training, like stop being a coach?
No. I'll still do that. No.
Okay.
That'd still be my link, and always the one pure link and passion to professional wrestling is training, to the best. I could teach them the foundations, the footwork, and that course styles evolve, and how they produce wrestling, it evolves and stuff like that. But we could always give them a core base foundation and stuff, and the knowledge that I have gained over the 37 years. And, things are different. They look at things different. It's evolved, but it should be able to help people on their first few footsteps through lives. So.
All right. So I mean, that was episode 101.
That was 101. We're out of time already, huh?
Yeah. Well,
bang, bang. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody again. Thank you, Adam, from the bottom of my heart. Positive vibes and prayers to you, and everybody keep fanging and banging. Episode 101, and fanging and bang on myself, the invisible Nikki Blackheart, and Shady Ray in the corner. Want some?
Get some.
Bad enough?
Take some.
Want some, get some, bad enough, take some.